Welcome to Healing Whole, the podcast. I'm your host, Callie. I'm a health and wellness expert, a certified personal trainer, and holistic health coach. I also happen to be extremely passionate about holistic healing. With over 13 years of experience, I've worked with clients from all walks of life. I also know a healing and holistic lifestyle can be a little overwhelming. I'm here to break it down for you and take you on my journey to healing whole. Remember, the materials and content within this podcast are intended as general information only and are not to be considered a substitute for medical advice or treatment. Hello, and welcome to Healing Whole, the podcast, episode 3. I'm so happy to have you here. I am here with Emily Mahler, and I said that right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep.
good. And we're going to talk about a lot of different things, but all that I think goes together well in a wellness
Yeah.
community, which we're also going to talk about.
Absolutely.
So, first things first, how are you doing today?
I am surviving. So I've been telling everybody, stopped saying I'm fine to everybody a long time ago. So some
Good.
people like surviving and some people can't handle it. And they're like, okay.
Oh, that's on them if they don't like it.
It is. Hey, I'm just trying to be honest with people lately. So
Not spiritually bypassing, which we talked about a little bit earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. So, first thing that I'm going to ask you is, how did you get into this holistic wellness kind of way of living? Like, where did it all start?
So it all started over 10 years ago now, which is just crazy because,
Getting
I'm
old.
still super early 20s. Like, how am I? I'm 32 now. And I'm like, oh, I guess it
I'm
has
early
been over
20s
10
too.
years. And I had been into like some holistic-ish stuff, like trying to eat healthier. I do wish I would have taken my great aunt's advice as I started getting into some natural stuff. She highly encouraged me to go to school for nutrition or a dietitian or something like that. And it is one of those things where I'm like, I should have listened to her. That would have been great. But at the time, I just wanted to be a wife and mom. So I just pursued that. So in 2012, I was introduced, I had been using some essential oils just from the store, definitely not quality. And in 2012, I was introduced to doTERRA essential oils, started using those and loved them. They worked super amazing. Taught classes, kind of grew that as an MLM. And then when I had my first child, I was like, holy crap, like these are really potent. And I was planning on being an oily mom who like covered her baby in oils every day.
Yeah.
And so whenever I smelled them postpartum and like your senses are heightened and all the things, I was like, I cannot put these on him like undiluted. Like this just isn't a thing. And that's kind of when I started doing more like research on things. So I got into more like aromatherapy versus company procedure and suggestion.
Okay.
I started learning a lot more about how to use them specifically on kids. They shouldn't really be used on kids under the age of 4 months, though I do still prefer them over medicine because of the skin permeability. So it's super fascinating. I like kind of went on that rabbit hole, learned a lot more about essential oils, how to properly use them, had taken a little bit of a course. Then I started getting into like a lot of other things from there. I don't really remember the sequence of stuff. Definitely like healthier eating, non-toxic living, like your standard stuff. I can't remember. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep moving forward. A couple years
You could
ago,
also mention, let me mention real quick that Emily is a mom to 2 boys and is also very pregnant with another child. So
Thanks.
mom brain is real
It
with
is.
me with 1 child. So mom brain is, I'm sure, 3 times
Mhm.
as much with 2 kids and 1 on the
Absolutely.
way.
I definitely
So take
forget
your time.
things I definitely forget things like as I am talking. I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know where the rest of that sentence went. So thanks. That'll definitely give people
Yes.
that heads up. So um well, I had started a holistic wellness directory. I no longer have that anymore, but that was a really cool way to meet a lot of people. That's, I think, how I met you, and like just
Have we
a
met?
bunch of different people in my network now. Um, and then I ended up through that meeting someone who sold another company that does like zeolite and supplements. And that was like a turning point for me in a supplement world, like realm. Because prior to that, I had been like seeing a naturopath at times and on a bunch of supplements and like all this stuff. And when I started diving into like that aspect of things, of where like supplements can technically be used like medicine and they're still not getting to the root cause, and also understanding like the quality of supplements, I was like, holy crap, like I don't even fully believe in supplements anymore. Like, let's get back to the earth and figure out what's going on. Um,
Yeah.
so I was kind of a little involved with that company a little bit, was super interested in their zeolite product. Now it's kind of like I don't know yet at this point. Like I still need to think through some things. But anyway, then I started getting into the holistic view of like understanding personality and understanding how our bodies work, and understanding that like emotions and relationships and like all of that plays into how we feel overall. um so like I'll try not to get too far ahead. So I was very interested in all of that kind of stuff. I ended up getting introduced to the device that I use now, which is like all frequency and biofeedback. And that company does a lot of training on like um, just like frequencies. Like everything is a frequency, and the body is a frequency, and there are like 120,000 different frequencies in our body, like for each thing. Um, and then I kind of started understanding how the emotions really are like a key piece to for healing. So like if you have anger, you most likely have liver issues, like all of these different things. And I'm like, this is so fascinating. So that's kind of my journey of that, like just progressively learning more about stuff and then really seeing things as a whole. So what like I love the whole idea of looking at the whole picture and then like putting the pieces together, connecting the dots and things like that. So that's essentially what I do now. I call myself a wellness mentor, and
I like that.
I support people in just kind of connecting the dots in their health. And then if I need to refer them out, I like refer them out to whoever I have in my network for various different things. So, so yeah, I'm all about empowering people to take control of their own health and wellness, because we're the only
Good. I
ones that
think,
can really do that.
and I think a lot of times, whether it be in the holistic realm of living or even as for a doctor or a therapist or whatever, we depend almost sometimes on them to heal us when really we're the ones that have to heal ourselves. They're just there as a guiding light.
Yep,
And
exactly.
like to, I still got that Facebook notification. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't.
It's gonna, oh, okay. I'm gonna call it out because it's probably gonna be on on this. But if anybody hears a Facebook notification, I exited out of Facebook, but it's still giving me notifications. Um, but anyway, I think that that's a really good point that we have to heal ourselves. No one else can heal us. We have to heal ourselves, but we can use the resources out there to better equip ourselves to being on that healing journey. And it's never bad to be in community on the healing journey either.
That's absolutely true, which is a big reason why I ended up calling my business that I have now the Wellness Community, because I want that focus on community and supporting each other where we are. Um, our mission and some of our goals have definitely shifted because of the different types of people that walked in my door. Like, I have always wanted to be able to help everybody, but didn't really
Mhm.
realize I guess, the category, like, I don't like to stereotype people. Like, I don't want to do that, but like there's so many people that need support and like have been through different things in their lives. So there's so many extra things that I now want to do just because I've been influenced so heavily by various people that walk through my doors. Um, and a lot of it is just really focusing on that community aspect. How can we support one another? If you have like um, issues in your community with drugs, like what are you doing about it? Are you supporting those people? Are you supporting the people that are in recovery? Are you just like complaining about it? Like, you can't work on supporting your community if all you're going to do is just talk. So we have a lot of like goals and things have kind of been put on hold because of the pregnancy. But
Yeah.
we have a lot of different ways that we want to do more outreach and stuff as we move forward, because everybody deserves to heal. And
Yes.
that might not be one of the other things I've definitely learned over the years is like, not, I want to be perfect, but obviously I can't be. So like I don't even want to show you this, and I know what's in this, but like Pop Tarts have been something that I've been eating because they're like a quick snack. And I know that they have red food coloring in them, and I know that they're full of sugar, and I know they're not healthy for me, but it's where I currently am. And stressing more over food and like making sure everything I eat is healthy causes more stress, which causes issues with the digestive system, which causes issues with like all the things. So like at this point in my journey, I'm like, you know what? I will own the fact that I'm eating not so great most of the time. But whenever I have the mental capacity to eat better, I will. Whenever I have the mental and physical energy, like I can. But like right now, I can't stand for more than like 5 minutes without being like winded and tired and exhausted.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, just like and I definitely used to be that type that was like, well, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're using XYZ. And I'm still like that about stuff, but I don't judge as harshly, I guess.
Yeah. Because
But
I mean, really, if you get down to it, judging yourself or anybody else, it doesn't serve
mhm,
anybody,
no,
you or anyone else.
no.
So, and I'll tell you what I always tell my clients is with food, how's it make you feel? Like, does it,
Mhm.
okay, so maybe you really want to have a bowl of ice cream, and that's what's going to serve your best and highest good in that moment because
Yeah.
whatever day you had, or maybe it doesn't even have to do with how the day was. It doesn't have to do with any emotion. You just really want a bowl of ice cream.
Uh-huh.
Like if it's going to make you feel, if it's going to serve your best and highest good and make you feel like really good,
Yeah.
then eat the ice cream.
Uh-huh.
So don't ever feel guilty for, my gosh, we already talked about this a little bit before, but I don't know how you have the capacity and the energy to even be doing this podcast right now, let alone cooking. My God, standing up and cooking.
Yeah, I don't do very much of it
Gosh.
anymore.
Yeah.
It's
So
this last few weeks has been, I don't really know what my family has been eating. I mean, we've had
it is what it
food,
is.
the kids are
Yeah.
fed, but
They're
I
not
have
hungry.
no idea what I've cooked, or my husband maybe cooked, or maybe it was just snacks. Like, I don't even remember every
I won't
day.
even tell you how my daughter eats. She used to eat so balanced. Like
Hmm.
I could feed that kid keto sloppy Joe chili and she would down it, ate everything. Now it's a good day if I get her to eat an egg white.
Nice.
It's ridiculous. She's actually coming around more to foods. Like
That's
she had
good.
steak and eggs last week, and I was like,
Good.
whoa. She even stuck a piece of spinach in her mouth.
Nice.
But I mean, this is coming from someone who's been in the world of this for like 13 years, and
Right.
I'm not gonna make myself feel bad about it. It's
Right. Yeah.
she'll learn to like it hopefully eventually, but I'm not gonna make her feel bad. Like you're not eating healthy, you're
Right.
not eating what's good, because I don't really put a label on food as good or bad. I
Hmm.
just food is
Yeah.
food.
Yep.
Does it make you
Yep.
feel good? Okay. Is it going to serve your goals? That's what you got to think about it while you're eating it
Yeah.
too, maybe.
Yeah.
Um,
For sure.
and if so, yeah. Anyway, that's my tangent. But so back to the wellness community, which is your
Yes.
physical location. Yes.
Hmm. Yes.
Can you tell me about that?
Yes, absolutely. So when I had originally started my wellness directory back in 2018, it had stemmed from the idea of wanting a physical location with like all of the things, all of the services, all of the stuff. But I knew at that point, like financially, that wasn't an option. And I decided to go the directory route, which was super cool because I got to meet people all over the place versus just locally. So I loved doing that, but and still had that dream. And in 20, when did I open this? 2022.
I was gonna
In
say, I think it was
2021,
22.
I saw a place that was for rent and I was like, oh, maybe it could be an idea. So I started, we have really amazing resources here in Somerset County and then some other surrounding counties, for free business coaching. And they support
Wow.
you with Penn State Law. They support you with St. Francis University, which I think you can utilize St. Francis University, the Small Business Development Center, potentially without. Startup Alleghenies is the program that I went through. But anyway, they helped with like business plan and financials and all of that stuff. And it didn't necessarily make sense because I didn't have a service to offer. I was basically just gonna like rent a space and then rent that space out to others.
Yeah.
And I just didn't have enough interest at that point. So I was like, okay, like whatever, I'll put that on the back burner. But then I got introduced to the software that I'm using. And then I was like, well, now I can offer a service. So the wellness community kind of was born out of that, like the ability that I could offer a service. Then if others wanted to then join me, like that would be great. If not, I still like had my game plan. So we've grown a bit over the year and a half. So I offer biofeedback scans, and frequency broadcasting. I can kind of explain. And
Yeah, I
then I
want to
have
get more into that
yeah,
later.
and then I have a shop. So this is like the back of my, this is like that door is the entrance to the shop. And then this is kind of like our back aspect. But over that way, there's products, which I could technically show for those who are watching on YouTube. Maybe if my screen goes. Okay. So we have an essential oil station. That first,
Oh.
oh my gosh, rack of shelves is like tinctures, some crystals. We have a variety of,
You use Earthly, right?
yes, I love Earthly. They're
Earthly's
amazing.
very good. I interviewed them on a show
I
at
love
Mother
Kate.
Earth
She's
News
awesome.
Fair.
I saw your post about that and I was like, that's so cool. When she was that when they were at Seven Springs?
Yeah.
We actually, I was like such a fan and I reached out to her and I was like, hey, would you be interested in doing a meetup? So her and her one employee met us at a local restaurant and like there were like
So cool.
7 to 10 of us that got to like have dinner with her and it was the coolest thing ever.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. This right here has crystals and then I have another display that has other essential oils that are for sale that are like full bottles and then more stuff that's already opened. But anyway, so like that's kind of like the top 3 products I would say would be like the essential oils, the crystals, and the tinctures. And then we have a variety of other random things. And then the services, I offer my biofeedback services. Last year, well, when I opened in 2022, because I was starting to get more into the biofeedback stuff and seeing the emotional side of it, because the reports that I do, one of them is an emotional one. I knew that I couldn't necessarily help people emotionally the way that I wanted to. And so I wanted to find like a good resource for being able to refer people out if they were ready to work on their emotions. And I definitely have qualifications when it comes to that because I'm like, I don't want someone that's just gonna like put you on meds. I don't want someone that's just gonna like toxic positivity you. So I reached out to a friend who I knew was a life coach, thought she was, um, and she came and like was super into it. Um, Long story short, she ended up kind of partnering with me. So she has her business out of this space as well. And she does trauma informed life coaching slash a lot of other things. She has a ton of tools in her toolbox. And she is working on some like somatic work and like all kinds of different things now. So she also does like Reiki energy work and stuff like that. So
Nice.
it like fits really well together. So she kind of handles the emotional side. I handle more of the like physical side. But she also has a lot of knowledge on the physical side because of her own healing journey. So it's really cool to like go back and forth with her and like share clients
Help
and
each
stuff.
other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and then of course, when we're in space together, we have lots of really great conversations. Um, and then we also have someone that will occasionally come in for massage therapy. And so we like sometimes have like extra guests at times, and I have a meditation room. So people can utilize the meditation room. It's $5 for 15 minutes. They can listen to frequency music, or I can find them a guided meditation. Um, and then Meg actually is working on her meditation certification too. So she can actually offer services in there
Nice.
for extra stuff if you want like customized. So so yeah, and we like do some different we do sound baths once a month with
Just
a
gonna ask about the sound
girl
bath.
from a girl from Indiana comes in and does those. They're absolutely amazing. Um and then at some point we're going to be adding in meditation circles. Um NA has been a um
You want to come to the
I don't know,
space?
not necessarily NA as a whole, but like we have supported some people in recovery, and
Nice.
they are wanting some more holistic support. So like we want to be offering some different services for people in recovery that are open to the weird stuff that we do here.
Love
So like
that.
meditation and the sound baths and stuff, because um that was one of those areas that we were like, wow, okay, like I never really expected to work in this, but also like I want to serve everybody. And one of my clients was just really impactful in all of that as he shared his story and a year of sobriety back in June. And he's going on a new adventure now. So, which was really bittersweet because now he's not going to be stopping in to see us. But
Yeah.
we're really excited just to see his journey and then to support his peers at this point. Um, so we definitely have that like goal of supporting people in different areas. At some point, I'd like to. My one friend just finished her boards for IBCLC, so I'd love to get like a breastfeeding group going and that kind of stuff at
Very
some point.
nice.
But I have not wanted to run it, so I was like, "Perfect, you can run this." So we're gonna eventually, probably in the spring, I'll start seeing like what that will entail and what it will look like. But yeah, we just want to support everybody where they are. So
So it's like the
the whole wellness community.
exactly what it's called is a community.
Yeah.
It's definitely a community. So it's a community of like-minded individuals
Hmm.
that are together supporting a community of like-minded individuals that want the help.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
And like it's been cool too. Um, like we have an older gentleman, he's like in his 70s, I'm pretty sure, that walks over here every it depends. Life is crazy. But he comes over, like he actually came over today and like visited with me for a little bit. And like it's just nice because like, he has no pressure to buy anything. He knows he can just come over and talk. And it's just nice to kind of hold that space for people. We can't always because we do have clients, but it's interesting to see the timing because typically people are coming in when we do have the time and the space available to like hold space with them and just be
Yeah.
there for them as people. So it's been really cool to be able to offer that kind of stuff too. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely
Right.
community focused.
I love that. Um, Let me preface, not really preface, but I guess Emily's based in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
So we're talking about places in Pennsylvania. So if you're listening to this from somewhere outside of Pennsylvania, because now I live in Florida, so it's we might have people listening outside of Pennsylvania, which
Yeah.
hopefully we do. If you visit Pennsylvania, it's a Somerset is a.
Yes.
I mean, Somerset's a fair sized town. It's not.
It is.
It's bigger than
Yeah.
Connellsville.
Um,
Or is it about the same?
it depends on like what you're ranging, I guess. Like uptown Somerset, I would say is maybe the same size or slightly smaller than like the strip of Connellsville that would be classified as that. Um, but then like you go broader and it's kind of bigger. Like I don't know, it's weird.
Somerset's a county too.
It is a whole
So
county.
technically, it's
Yeah.
yeah.
But
But anyway, Somerset is a little. Let me think. If you know where Seven Springs is, it's maybe what east, northeast of Seven Springs, or
yeah, it would
west.
be northeast. Yeah, northeast of Seven
And then
Springs.
Connellsville, where I'm from, is south from Somerset.
Yeah.
Close to the West Virginia border.
Southwest.
So
Yeah.
wherever you're listening from, if you head to Pennsylvania, southwestern Pennsylvania, I highly suggest that you go to these areas like Somerset County, go to Fayette County. Johnstown also has a lot of good stuff, right?
Yeah.
Say your last name, Danielle Lozzie.
Danielle Malazzi.
Yeah.
Mama Earth movement. She's
Yeah,
who I
she
get
also
my
has a
crystals
space.
from.
Yeah, I got my crystals from there when I owned a shop. Some of them, some of the bigger ones, like
Yeah.
the statement pieces I got.
Yeah.
There's just so much in southwestern Pennsylvania. If you're looking for like a little holistic healing kind of getaway, there's a lot that you can see and do. And I invite you to definitely try it out.
Absolutely.
But I wanted to say that because I know we're talking about it like we know because we know, but I don't know if
Right.
everybody's gonna know.
Yeah.
So tell me about biofeedback scans because
Okay.
you're talking about it. It's a service you offer. But I'm not gonna lie and act like I really know a whole lot about it.
Okay. Um, so I'm gonna do my best. I'm still like working on the explanation piece because like it all makes sense in my head. And then like verbalizing it sometimes is confusing. But you think about how like MRIs, ultrasounds, all of that kind of stuff works. It works off of a feedback, essentially. It's sending sound and then giving you an image. So with I use a software called the AO scan, and it offers multiple different reports based off of technology from Royal Rife, Albert Einstein, Tesla, all of that kind of stuff. The history of the company is Lauren Swenson. He's the owner. He adopted a son with cerebral palsy, and they wanted to give him the best life possible. And so they traveled the world looking for really amazing technologies they could utilize. They found this one in China, bought the rights to bring it to the US. And in 2012, they had this thing called the AO scan. It was over $30,000. And it was all about biofeedback. So typical biofeedback, you're typically like hooked up to something. Like even thinking of like a lie detector test, you're hooked up, it's like running its thing as you're doing it. So that is, I believe, how the original models were. And they created a program called Inner Voice, which goes off of 10 seconds of your voice and then shows the emotions that correlate. And then some of the physical aspects because the emotions and the physical connect. Well, they didn't want this to just be for practitioners because they felt like the value was just too great. Like they want this in everyone's home, essentially, the inner voice aspect. And so once you run that report, it not only like tells you the things, it gives you frequency audios with like binaural beats and frequencies that support the balance of that emotion. So it's a lot of people feel very relaxed and like their nervous system has calmed down after listening to it. So they figured out how to get that on cloud software. as they were figuring that out on cloud software, they realized they could pull every single thing that they were doing on the ginormous scan over to the cloud. So it is now like affordable for anyone to have. So it's a monthly subscription of $150, and you have access to all of the reports. And then there's like so many pieces to it. So I'll kind of start with the basics. When I run the feedback reports, the vitals is all about the emotions or the inner voice. And then the vitals and the comprehensive are based off of a blueprint, like a frequency blueprint of what like a perfect body should be at a frequency state. There's 120,000 different markers in the blueprint. So what the device does is it uses the voice. And then when I see people in person, I actually have it right here, bone transducer headset. So this goes on the head like so, and is on then the TMJ bone. And it works like that. But I can also do these remotely, and that is done with quantum physics and scalar waves and quantum entanglement, which are terms you can look up in your own free time and learn more about, because they're mind-blowing. They make sense in my head, but those words, like, I have a hard time getting it across. But it's essentially like the same type of technology that similar technology that a cell phone works. If I call you with my cell phone that's not wired to anything and dial your number, it's going only to you. So it works off of the idea that there is like a source where the frequency goes from to a target. And so that is your body. So I create like a profile in the software for each client, and whoever's profile I have pulled up, that's exactly where the frequencies are going to. So that's with running reports and then also broadcasting frequencies. So the vitals reports look at I kind of rename them a blood chemistry report. It's not actually looking at your blood, but it's looking at anything that you could kind of get from that. So your blood levels, like your iron and all of that kind of stuff, hemoglobin, lipids, your gastrointestinal function, your nutritional analysis, like your amino acids, enzymes, vitamins, minerals, and then physical body. So that's like your thyroid, your hormones, your liver, your gallbladder, like all of those numbers. It also looks at your chakras and meridians, food sensitivities, and then toxicities. So mold, parasites, bacteria, viruses, stuff like that. So it's looking at your body through that blueprint and showing what's in and out of balance. And then the second part of the scan is that it actually sends frequencies to balance those. I can't remember. It's like a 180 or a 360. I can't remember. Degree turn of the frequency, essentially, to kind of try to cancel out and educate your body back towards where that balance should be. So you can see in one report where your body started and then where it was after the shift, like after it optimized. So you can see your body, like how your body responds to the frequencies, essentially. And then based off of that, I look for patterns. So like, what areas of your body are you needing more support in? Is it your digestion? Is it your hormones? Is it your endocrine system? Like, where are you struggling? I want to get better at connecting the dots, because some practitioners can definitely like look at it really quickly and be like, oh, this is the exact problem. Like, let's change this in your lifestyle kind of thing. But we kind of look at that. Then the comprehensive looks at more of like the organs, the structure of your body. I call that the X-ray report, because it kind of looks like an X-ray, not of you necessarily, but it shows like a digestive system and then like shows what's in and out of balance. So again, we look through that report to see what was the most out of balance, what stayed out of balance, that kind of thing, to kind of piece those together. I have upgraded with extra training. So I have access to a database that can then show like what types of things were hits for why certain things came up on the scan. So like that's where we can really dive deep into emotions. That's where we can see if there's like a lot of bacteria or a lot of parasites or just various different things. And then there's also a body system scan that we can look at. And so it's kind of like a reverse inner voice. So it looks at the body first and then has the emotions and then suggestions for improving that body system. And that's all personalized to your body. Like everybody gets different stuff. So it's kind of cool to see like, oh, I know that I'm struggling. Like the one thing that I did the other week, I was like, okay, I know, I hear you. I know
called you out.
I'm doing good at this. It's very good at calling you out. And then my favorite part that I've been using with people, so I love the biofeedback scans. It gives people a lot of education. It's educational, not diagnostic. But I definitely, like I said, like I want to empower people to kind of research on their own. So I don't do all the homework for you. Like I'll help you look for your patterns. And as I continue to learn, I might be able to offer more, but I really want you to take this education and like take that into your own hands. The new thing that I have been doing is Cephi groups. So the Cephi program is called Cephi
SEFI, correct?
SEFI, Subtle Energy Frequency Imprinter.
Okay.
So, which I could technically, well, I'm not going to. So what that is, there's different categories in that software that have frequencies. So like one that I use a lot is the quantum frequency section, and those are based off of Rife technology. So they're all very symptom specific. There's ones that Solex has like blended themselves. Those are quantum reach and quantum affirmations. Those ones have more like love, forgiveness, and gratitude, immune support, abundance, creativity, success, like those types of frequencies. And then there's Bach flower remedies, which are the quantum flowers,
Nice.
quantum chakras, and then a whole host of homeopathy, which is absolutely amazing. Because I was starting to get into homeopathy before I got into this device, and I still like really need to take the time to learn it, but this device has made it like a lot easier to use in a sense. Because I can then imprint objects. So like I'll imprint my ring. I have little dots that people come in and get. And I imprint objects with that frequency. Excuse me. And then
I
put it on.
understand.
So then that frequency is on your body.
Very cool.
And it lasts, they say it lasts until it hits anger. Like it should last like semi-indefinitely. The Steffi dots they recommend for 3 days just because it's something that you adhere to your skin. But it's been a game changer. But not only can you imprint, and like you can also imprint water. I don't have my glass, I'm using a mug today, but you can imprint water in a glass with homeopathy, with any of the frequencies. I often forget about that part because it's a great way to like take homeopathy is with the water. But the other piece, I use it more for broadcasting. So whoever's profile I have at the top, I can choose their profile and then choose the frequencies and then click broadcast. And then those frequencies get to that person. They don't have to hear anything. They don't have to know when I'm even sending it. It just works. So I started doing Cephi groups 2 months ago. This is the 3rd month we're in it, and I'm super excited because people have definitely been seeing results. So I set up a group of people, and then based off of the category that they choose, I broadcast frequencies for that category. And then I also have customized plans where if you want to work on your house without being in a group, it's a little bit more, but it's customized to you. So I'll kind of give the example. The one lady did did a group last month, she definitely saw results. And so whenever she came in this month to pay, she was like, you know what? These are some different things. And I was like, I really think you should upgrade to the customization because like I think I could help you better. And
Yeah,
so she
of
did.
course.
And so for the first 2 weeks, she wants to work on digestion. And then the last 2 weeks, she wants to work on, oh, I forget. It's in my notes. Anyway, so these first 2 weeks, I'm continuing with some of the stuff she was getting last month because I didn't want her to lose that progress. It was related to the nervous system. So I wanted her to continue receiving that support. So I send that to her for an hour. And then first of the month, I did 30 minutes of the digestion and pancreas playlist that I have. And then yesterday I was like, I'll just do it for an hour. Did it again for an hour today. And she sent me a text message today. And she said, let me read it to you because I was like, oh, I'm gonna cut back tomorrow. She's having some ear issues, so she wants me to like send her some stuff for that. She said that her digestive tract has been slightly overactive for 24 hours and she's had like a slightly upset stomach. And I was like, I may have done that too long for you. So tomorrow we're
Oh,
going to back up to like 30 minutes. But there's so many like instances that I can share that I'm like my one friend has some reproductive issues and she has a lot of pain because of it. And so like anytime she's in pain, I send her frequencies, like, and she feels better for a while. She also has gluten and dairy allergies. There's homeopathic remedies for gluten and dairy. So anytime she has gluten and dairy, because we started testing it, because she wanted ice cream when we went out one time. And so we decided to share it. And she was like, I was like, we can play with it. Like, if you're okay with like discomfort, if it doesn't work, like, let's
yeah.
play. So we split an ice cream and I broadcast her the dairy intolerance frequencies for the homeopathy, and she said it like reduced her discomfort so drastically. So like she actually eats gluten and dairy, not all the time, but a lot more than she used to. And then she'll just text me and be like,
Frequently.
"Hey, can you send me frequencies for this?" And I'm like, "Sure." Um, I have a couple of friends with like some severe anxiety that have like felt a little bit of relief because I've been sending them some frequencies for that. Um,
I think I saw you posted someone had like a bad migraine or something.
mhm. Yeah, I've had
You
that
sent,
was one of my custom clients. Yes, she was having really bad migraine. And so I sent her frequencies for that and it went away. And then that same week, something happened to her. I can't remember if that one was a sickness. I can't remember. Um, but I can't remember now. I don't remember if that one was a sickness or something. But there were like two big ones for her that week that she was like,
yeah.
"Oh my gosh, I can't believe I feel so much better." I had a friend reach out to me this weekend who has been like, she had been having a struggle with sickness. Her whole family's been sick and she just wasn't getting
Mm.
better. And so she was like, "Hey," she's in my Cephi group, so she's been experiencing some good stuff from that. And she was like, "Hey, do you think you could send me some frequencies for this?" And I was like, "Sure." So she paid me and I um, set up a playlist just for her with all of the symptoms that she was having and broadcast them to her for an hour. It was around bedtime. And so I checked in with her the next morning and she's like, "I feel 75% better." She was
Heck
like, "This is
yeah.
ridiculous." And I was like, "I
Yeah.
know, right?" A friend of mine, like, I don't think she broke her toe, but she like injured her toe.
Mm.
And she said that like I had done frequencies for her a few days in a row and she's like the pain just like was gone. And I was like, super cool. So
Yeah.
it's really fun to like get those really big testimonials from people and stuff. And they're just endless at this point. And I'm like, I need to start writing them down better. I need a better system of organizing my testimonials, but
Write them down, screenshot them,
definitely.
anything,
Oh
just
yeah,
because
definitely screenshotting.
on the days where I do this, this is completely really off topic, but not really. But on the days I'm like, man, I'm just tired today. I'm tired. I'll look at my client
Hmm.
testimonials to like lift me up. So it's
Yeah.
not just good for them. It's like it makes
Yeah.
you feel really good too that
Oh,
you're helping
absolutely.
people.
Absolutely. I love that because like it is like some of those days that I'm just like, oh my God, I don't want to do anything. I'll just get a random message from someone and they're like, hey, just wanted to let you know that like XYZ is helping. Or I actually have like I love the fact that everything can be done remotely. I have an Etsy
I was going to
account.
ask you that.
I have an Etsy account and Etsy, I don't do consultations. I just do the reports. If people want time with me, then they can pay for a consultation. But I offer the reports on Etsy, and lady in Australia found me, and I was
Uh-uh.
like, cool. And so she started doing reports, and I was like, okay, so like I do reports for her, her son, her mom, and then occasionally a guy, which I'm not sure if it's her dad or her husband. Um, and like we have talked a handful of times. Like she's told me a little bit about what they're dealing with in each of their health issues. But like outside of that, like she just like every week gets a report for like one of them, and then like I run the reports, I send them to her. She does like her own whatever she does. And
Yeah.
and she's happy with that. And I'm like, this works. And I've had a few
Very
people that
nice.
have been very, it's just weird the people that I get from Etsy, because they don't have a ton of clients on Etsy, but it's been very fascinating the ones that have found me. Like they've definitely been
Everybody
like
uses
divine
Etsy. I feel
timing.
like, yeah, from all over
Yeah,
the place.
yeah. But it's been like
So,
divine timing because like it's not just like random people. Like it's
yeah.
like people that like two of them have actually been looking for the software and like don't know how to get it kind of thing. And so like they've ended up signing up under
Wow.
me because they like just they know about the software and they want to use it. And I'm just like how does this happen? And but then like it's cool because like they end up being like these really cool people that like I get to talk to about all this stuff and like learn from too. And
Yeah.
it's been fascinating to I don't know, just have multiple options for people.
That's
So,
really cool.
but yeah.
And I wouldn't have thought to put reports like any kind of healing on Etsy either. So
Hmm.
that was really a smart move because you can reach people from so like anywhere.
Yeah, it's
And you,
really
you
cool.
like what you said, it's divine timing, and if it's meant to be, it's gonna be. Like that's just how
Yeah.
it is with everything.
That's
But
what Etsy is for me. Cause like I mean it was on there for like a year and I was like, I don't get sales, like whatever, it's on there. And then this one, she's definitely gotten a lot of reports from me and I mean it's definitely helped my business a lot. I've
yeah,
offered her the software, but she prefers just getting them ran for herself. Like
no,
she's like, I
yeah,
don't want to deal with the technology. I just want you to run them. And I'm like, all right, I will
I got
continue.
you.
I'm good with that. I definitely
Yeah.
make more money just running the reports versus the sign up. So I'm like, all right, I'm fine with whatever you're comfortable with. So
So if people are interested in learning more, where can they find you or find the information? Okay, so someone listened to this and they're like, holy
yeah.
crap, that sounds super cool. Let's do two things. Let's say they just want to be they want you to run the reports for
Hmm.
them. Where can they find information on that? And then let's say that they want to be able to run the reports themselves and
Hmm.
have you kind of mentor them. Where can they find the information on that? Or is it like the same place?
The best way to find me, I don't even know anymore. Um, Probably Facebook at the Wellness Community SoCo. So the Wellness Community SOCO. That's where I have like a lot of my business stuff. And it's an easy place to message me. Um, my personal Facebook, if they're friends with me on Facebook or want to reach out that way. Um, I do have a website that I'm working on. It does have all of my Etsy stuff on it in the shop section. It's called exploringlifeunfiltered.com.
You can keep going. I'm just writing it
I'm
down so
trying to
I
think.
can
I
track
mean,
it.
the only
Oh,
other
okay. I thought you were waiting for me to
I,
write.
no, no, that's okay. I'm just like, do I want to give everybody my cell phone number? I mean, like my cell phone number is everywhere. So It's like one of
Okay.
those things
Okay.
where I'm
I was
like,
like, we gotta work on our boundaries if we're doing that.
I
Time
don't
boundaries.
respond to messages unless I have the space and energy. I definitely do have a pretty good boundaries around that.
Wonderful. I love that.
But yeah, but I mean, reaching out on Facebook is a great way to get in touch with me, and then I can give you my number. Um,
You have an
but
email
yeah,
you use that people could email you?
yeah,
You
it's the
don't really
wellness.
use email.
I do use email. It's the wellness community soco@gmail.com.
Okay. Cool.
So
So
yeah.
if they want anything, if they want to reach out about either way, like say they
Mhm.
want to be a practitioner or whatever
Right.
mentor in this, they can just reach out to you that way,
Mhm.
or they actually want you to run the reports, they can reach out
Yeah.
to you that way.
Yeah, and
That's
I
cool.
do
Okay.
yeah, if people want reports, there's a lot of shift I don't know. There's a lot of options.
Sure differs. Yeah.
Um if you just want the reports and no consultation is $25 for all 3 reports. Um if you want consultation, it's I'd like to start people out on a 2-hour consultation just because I like to explain things, especially if they're not familiar with the technology. That's 2 hours is $100 and 1 hour is 50 for follow-ups or just like check-ins. But I definitely have started getting people. My goal is to get people to where they just need the reports. They're looking at the information themselves, and that's $25. So like I have a few people that have kind of shifted to that, and then I give them a little bit of time if they have questions and stuff. They can ask, text me or whatever
Yeah.
if they have questions about their report. And then yeah, and if people want to sign up, I will do a free demo for people if they're wanting to like get the software for themselves. I don't typically run their reports. I just kind of walk them through one of my reports and show them what it looks like. So
Okay.
but yeah.
And then for the, is it Cefi, SCFI? Is that how you say it? Cefi
Yeah.
groups? Is that a Facebook group?
No, so that is they also would reach out to me and let me know. I
Okay.
post that stuff on my business page. I start those at the first of every month and run them for the entire month. They are $20, which is ridiculously cheap. Most
Yeah.
people are charging $75 for 3 weeks. And I just like my mission and purpose is to be very accessible for people who want to try new health things and just either don't want to waste their money or don't have the money. I mean, some people can't even afford my rates. Like that's just a reality of the world we live in.
Yeah.
And it depends on what your priorities are. But some people do really want to prioritize their health, but still don't have the money. So anyway, so it's $20 a month. There's 8 different options from weight loss, hormones, digestive, sleep, um, a mastering stress one. That one focuses more on the nervous system.
Mm.
A pain relief one. So yeah, it's $20 per group. So if you want to join, I have a couple people that are in 2 different groups. And they just really enjoy that. And then the customized is $47 a month. That is a really good deal because not only do you
Very
get
cheap.
customized frequencies every single day broadcast directly to you, you get a report once a week. So
Very
you also get
nice. You are making this super accessible.
yes. So
People.
and yeah. So I really want people to be able to support their health and well-being. And I don't do any consultation with that. It's just 47 kind of DIY, but I do have a teachable course where it kind of walks you through how to understand the report and different aspects of the
Nice.
reports and stuff. So yeah.
Cool.
So yeah,
Awesome.
all the things.
Um, yeah, I love it. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that I should have asked you?
I don't believe so.
Okay. And we know where we can find you, the
Mhm.
Wellness Community SoCo on Facebook, and then the Wellness Community SoCo at gmail.com is your email, and then exploringlifeunfiltered.com is your website, where your Etsy stuff's on your website also.
Yes, my Etsy stuff is on there. I have information about the Steffi groups, the membership, and I'm still like working on it. I did launch the website, but I can't remember what the last piece was. I think the last piece was the one, it might have been the one-on-ones. But there's also information about getting your own software on there too. Excuse me, and I'll be doing some blog posts and stuff. It's not just about the frequencies. I also have stuff on there about motherhood, homeschooling, business and finances and stuff like that. So kind of a one-stop shop.
I love
yeah.
it. Very cool. Nice. Well, thank you for all that information and downloads and all the goodness that you just provided me and everybody listening. I really appreciate that.
Thank you for having me on your podcast.
Yeah, I'm so excited. And thank you for taking time out of the craziness that is already being a mom to 2 kids, owning a business with multiple avenues and being pregnant and a wife and all the things. I really, really, really appreciate that.
Of course. Of course.
Cool deal. So that's it for episode 3 of Healing Whole the podcast. We will see you next time. Happy healing, everybody.